How often do you think about the impact of your seafood dinner on the world beneath the waves? It's a question that for many of us may seldom cross our minds. But it's a question with profound implications. You see, beneath the surface of our vast oceans lies a vibrant world teeming with life. A world of intricate ecosystems of species known and unknown, all playing their part in maintaining the delicate balance of life. This underwater realm is not just a spectacle of nature's beauty, but it also provides us with resources that are integral to our survival. One of these resources is seafood. From shrimp cocktails to sushi, from fish and chips to clam chowder, seafood is a staple in diets worldwide. But have you ever paused to ponder where your seafood comes from? It's more than just a transaction at the local market or a selection from a restaurant menu. It's a journey that begins in the depths of the ocean. Fishing, the practice that brings us our beloved seafood, is a significant human activity that interacts with these marine ecosystems. And like any interaction, it has consequences. While it's a source of livelihood for millions around the globe, it can also have a substantial effect on the health and sustainability of our oceans. Overfishing, harmful fishing practices, and the incidental catch of non-target species, known as bycatch, can disrupt marine ecosystems. It can deplete fish populations, endanger species, and damage underwater habitats. This ripple effect extends far beyond the ocean, impacting food security, economies, and livelihoods. But it's not just the fishing practices themselves. The very act of consuming seafood connects us to the ocean, making us a part of this chain of impact. Our food choices, our demand for seafood, indirectly influences the health of the marine world. So the next time you enjoy your seafood dinner, remember you're connected to the ocean in more ways than you might realize. The ocean's health is more intertwined with our actions than you might think. It's time we start considering the unseen impact of our choices on the world beneath the waves. Did you know that as much as 40% of the world's oceans are heavily affected by human activities, including fishing? Yes, you heard it right. Almost half of our oceans are severely impacted by our actions, and fishing is a significant contributor to this problem. Let's take a moment to unravel the magnitude of this issue. Overfishing, which refers to the act of catching fish from the sea at rates too high for the species to replenish, is causing a drastic depletion of fish stocks. It's not just a number game, it's about the balance of life beneath the waves. When we take more than what the ocean can replenish, we are disrupting an intricate web of life that has evolved over millions of years. But the damage isn't just limited to the depletion of fish stocks. We also need to consider the impact of fishing gear on marine habitats. Picture this. Miles and miles of fishing nets and lines, some lost or abandoned, entangling and destroying coral reefs and other crucial habitats. These ghost nets continue their deadly catch for years, creating underwater ghost towns devoid of life. Then comes the problem of bycatch. In our pursuit of specific species, we often catch and discard non-target species. Dolphins, turtles, seabirds, and even sharks often get caught in the crossfire, only to be thrown back into the sea injured or dead. This unintended consequence of fishing is a heartbreaking reality, leading to the decline of numerous species, some even teetering on the brink of extinction. And this is where the ripples of our actions reach the shore. Our oceans are not an infinite resource. They are a delicate, interconnected system. When we disrupt one part, the entire system feels the effect. The loss of even a single species can have a cascading impact on the health of the entire ecosystem. This is not just a problem for the fish, but for the entire marine ecosystem and ultimately for us. Our actions, our choices, and our consumption patterns are intricately linked to the health of our oceans. As we continue to uncover the extent of the problem, remember, it's not too late to change the tide. Ever wonder what happens when we take too many fish out of the sea? Picture a pebble hitting the surface of a calm pond. The initial splash is immediate and noticeable, but what follows is a series of ripples, spreading outwards, affecting the entire body of water. This, in essence, is what happens when we overfish our oceans. The effects ripple out, disrupting more than just the species we target. Imagine the ocean as an intricate web of life, where every creature, big or small, has a role to play. This is the marine food chain, a complex system of energy transfer from one organism to another. At the top of this chain, we usually find large predators such as sharks or tuna. These top predators keep the populations of their prey in check, ensuring a balance in the ecosystem. But what happens when these top predators are removed from the equation due to overfishing? The result is a phenomenon known as a trophic cascade. Without the top predators to keep them in check, the populations of their prey can explode, leading to an overconsumption of their own prey. This ripple effect continues down the food chain, leading to a significant imbalance in the ecosystem. Let's take a real-world example. When the populations of large predatory fish like cod were diminished in the North Atlantic due to overfishing, their prey, smaller fish and invertebrates, multiplied. These smaller creatures then overfed on phytoplankton, the microscopic plants that form the base of the marine food web. This led to a drastic reduction in the phytoplankton population, which in turn affected all the species that relied on it for food, creating a ripple effect throughout the entire ecosystem. In the end, overfishing doesn't just harm the fish species we target, it disrupts the entire marine ecosystem, throwing off the delicate balance that has been established over millions of years. And just like the ripples in a pond, these disruptions can spread far and wide, with unpredictable and often negative consequences. When we disrupt this delicate balance, the repercussions can be felt across the entire ecosystem. So let's think twice before we cast our nets too wide and too often. After all, the ocean's bounty is not limitless, and the ripple effects of our actions can be far-reaching. So, what can we do to ensure our oceans continue to thrive while still enjoying our favorite seafood dishes? This is a question we must all ask ourselves, and the answer lies in understanding and promoting sustainable fishing. Sustainable fishing is a practice that takes into account the long-term well-being of the marine ecosystem. It's about ensuring that we fish at a rate that allows fish populations to replenish themselves. This approach goes beyond just the fish on our plates. It's about preserving the diverse and complex web of life that exists beneath the waves. Regulation plays a vital role in this. Governments and international bodies can enforce rules and standards that limit overfishing, protect endangered species, and prevent harmful fishing methods. They can set catch limits, enforce seasonal fishing bans, and restrict the use of certain types of equipment. But regulations alone are not enough. They need to be enforced and respected by the fishing industry and communities. Another key aspect of sustainable fishing is the creation of marine protected areas. These are zones in the ocean where human activity is limited, allowing marine life to recover and thrive. These protected areas serve as safe havens for fish and other marine species, providing them with the space they need to grow and reproduce. They also help to preserve the complex ecosystems that exist beneath the surface, which are critical for the health of our oceans. Finally, as consumers, we have a crucial role to play. We can choose to buy seafood that is sustainably sourced. We can support businesses that follow responsible practices and avoid those that do not. We can educate ourselves about the impact of our choices and adjust our habits accordingly. Every time we choose a piece of fish at the market or order seafood at a restaurant, we have the power to support sustainable fishing. Sustainable fishing is not just about preserving fish stocks, but about safeguarding the health of our oceans. It's a way forward that ensures we can continue to enjoy the bounty of the sea without compromising the future of our marine life. Scene script. You may think, what can I, as an individual, do to help? The answer is simple yet profound. By harnessing the power of individual action, you can contribute significantly to a collective positive change. It's easy to underestimate the potential of a single action, but remember, the ocean's mighty waves are made up of countless tiny droplets. Let's consider the seafood we consume. It's not just about satisfying our taste buds, it's also about the choices we make. Every time we buy seafood, we are making a decision that impacts the health of our oceans. By choosing seafood sourced from fisheries that use sustainable practices, we are promoting the health of marine life. These fisheries are careful to avoid overfishing, and they use methods that reduce the amount of bycatch, that is, the unintended capture of non-target species. The power of the purse is substantial. When we, as consumers, demand sustainable seafood, it sends a strong message to the industry. It tells them that we value the health of our oceans and the creatures that call it home. But how to make an informed choice? There are tools available to help. Look for eco-labels on seafood products, or use a seafood guide app. These resources can help you identify which species are sustainably harvested and which are not. However, our role in the solution doesn't end there. Education is a powerful tool for change. By learning about the issues facing our oceans, we can become advocates for marine life. Share your knowledge with others. Encourage them to make sustainable choices too. Remember, it's not just about what we do. It's also about what we inspire others to do. Each conversation, each shared piece of information, can ripple outwards, creating a wave of change. By choosing to support sustainable fishing practices, You are casting a vote for the health of our oceans and the myriad life forms they support.